Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew Langer. I'm president of the Institute for Liberty, and it is a distinct pleasure to be here today. But I kind of wish we weren't. I kind of wish we didn't have to do this. And unfortunately, it seems to me we keep having to do this over and over and over again. In Maryland and elsewhere, Jeff. I mean, that's the thing. It's all around the country. Thomas Paine said it best. These are the times that try men's souls. And our souls have been tried, haven't they? It's enough to make you want to cry sometimes. But it's also enough for us to get angry. And we have every reason and every right to be angry. You see, there is a fundamental disconnect between the way we think and the way our brothers on the other side think. And like it or not, they are our brothers. And it's up to us to educate them as to the error of their ways. You see, they approach it as many of the other speakers today have said. They approach life from the prospect that rights come from government down to you. That's where we've come in a scant 8 generations since the founding of our republic. A republic which was founded on the precept that you are born with the full measure of your rights intact. And that we as a people cede some small measure of those rights narrowly and carefully defined to government in the form of powers. Again, narrowly construed and severely constrained. That's the nature of the beast. And so when I hear folks talk about the rights that our governor has, he doesn't have any rights as the governor. The president has no rights as the president. They have power. And every time we try to rein in that power, what do? They try to get around it. They use the language of lawyers. They try to circumvent the will of the people in all sorts of ways. We cannot let them do that. And see, one of the other problems we have is the language that we use today. See, unfortunately, we all are very focused on the Second Amendment. And the Second Amendment is important. Absolutely. But the Second Amendment only tells part of the story. You see, even absent, it gets to this whole thing. You remember a couple of weeks ago, there was this whole controversy over a law professor from American or George Washington, constitutional law professor, had a controversial op-ed in the New York Times in which he said, we ought to just scrap the Constitution. It's a royal pain in the ass. Pardon my French. A royal pain in the butt. We just get rid of it. Which should tell you a great deal about what they want and the rightness of what we're all doing, because they recognize that there are rules that they have to play by. But here's what he didn't get, and what is so disheartening that a professor of constitutional law wouldn't get. If we scrap the Constitution, all that does is return all of our rights to each of us intact. We retain the full measure. The Constitution itself as a document merely lays out the power of government. The Bill of Rights merely enumerates certain rights that we have, doesn't it? Yeah. The second merely says one justification for why the people retain that right to keep and bear arms. Absent the second, we still have the right to keep and bear arms. Remember, the Declaration of Independence says, among these rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. What does that mean? That means that there are other rights that are out there that exist regardless of what the Declaration of Independence says, regardless of what the Bill of Rights says. And that, my friends, is made manifest in the Fourth Amendment, which says we have the right to be secure in our persons and our possessions, and the Ninth Amendment. See, I love the 10th Amendment. A lot of folks spend a lot of time talking about the 10th Amendment, but the Ninth Amendment gets short shrift. What does the Ninth Amendment say? It says that the enumeration of certain rights within this Constitution is not meant to deny the existence or disparage the rights that are retained by the people. That means that absent the Second Amendment, each and every one of you has the fundamental right to defend yourself in any manner in which you choose. And you will not cede that right to the governor, to the legislature, to the president, or anybody. All that is not surrendered is retained. And I'm going to leave you with my favorite quote about the republic that we live in, because I think you should all take it to heart. And it gets to this issue of this administration never letting a crisis go to waste. In 1992, there was a Supreme Court case called New York versus United States. You can go look it up. It's a great Supreme Court case. The opinion written by Justice Sandra Day O'Connor. And it said the following. First of all, federalism, which is the system of government we have, secures to individuals the liberties that derive from the diffusion of sovereign power. In other words, we do not concentrate power to make sure that your rights are protected. And anytime someone wants to concentrate that power, it's because they want to come after your rights. But more importantly, Justice O'Connor says this: the Constitution protects us from our own best intentions. It divides power among sovereigns and among branches of government precisely so that we might resist the temptation to concentrate power in one branch as the expedient solution to the crisis of the day. Are we going to let them use this crisis to take away our rights? No! Are we going to fight for every measure of our liberties? Yes! God bless you all. God bless Maryland, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you all for coming out today.